Matthew Judon, who showed up to day one of Patriots training camp and was very open talking about his contract situation. I think he's been vocal about it, at least on social media, Paul. But I'll give him credit. He didn't avoid the question. He talked really openly about it, and that there is some envy that other guys are getting paid, and boy, they have. Whether it's Jelani Tavai, Ramondre Stevenson, even older guys. David Andrews got an extension here. So if I'm Judon, I'm 32. Look at some of the numbers. Patriots were tied for fourth in the NFL 2 years ago, 54 sacks. Team total sunk to 27th in the league, with just 36 last year without him. There's some numbers to back it up, but how do you think this thing plays out?
Yeah, I think he's going to probably end up getting more money for this year. I don't know about an extension. And that, to me, that's where you have an argument, whether or not you think he should be extended at 32. But I give him credit for talking. I agree with you. And I was not in on this particular conversation today. I was elsewhere. But later in that interview, he was asked specifically about a trade. Because I don't know if you guys caught, the social media.
The retweet,
the retweet. He emphatically said he did not want to be traded. He wants to be here. I think at the end of that clip, you heard him say something along the lines of, if we're up to me, I'd pay me more money.
We got it here.
And yeah, okay, good.
Do I want to be traded? Hell no. I feel like when you trade it, it's kind of like you don't got no say and so in it. They just come tell you like, "Hey, bro, you leaving." I don't think nobody want to be traded, honestly. But I told y'all I don't run my Twitter, bro. So people be tweeting stuff and I be reading this. I be reading the stuff, but I don't run my Twitter. The only time I'm really on there is when I'm talking to Ben, AP, and Miles. So. That ain't me.
Lies. That's all.
That's a cop out.
That's all one big lie. He has fancied himself as like a de facto general manager of this team come free agency or the trade deadline, trying to get guys to come to the Patriots since he got here. He runs his own Twitter account. That's a crock. That's a crock.
I agree. And that's perfectly put. That's exactly what I was going to come back with. And I didn't hear that part of it. I prefaced by saying I wasn't in on this interview. But I do believe him. I think he's talking at face value that he doesn't want to be traded. His preference is to be paid and to stay here. And I think he'll get more. This is like the Gilmore thing from a few years ago.
Yep.
They took money from 24 and gave it to him last year. Now, from the team's perspective, he then got hurt and barely played. He played 4 games, 3.5 games. So you can understand there's some reluctance there. In his age, I wouldn't extend him, because I don't think he'll be part of the next contending Patriots team.
Me neither.
But I would give him more money because I do think there's value in having him now. They have really, and Jim had the numbers right there. Without him, the pass rush was non-existent last year. He's really the only proven commodity they have. Uche has some numbers, but he is not the kind of pass rusher that Judon is.
Not even close.
So I think that he's...
No, you would have to hope that Anthony Jennings makes a jump, Keon White as well, that type of thing.
Keon White is a guy that I'm sort of, interested in, see where exactly he fits. I wonder if he might be one of those guys that has some versatility but doesn't do anything great, so they're not sure exactly. I think Mapu might be in a similar kind of situation, different kind of players, but, maybe jacks of all trade, masters of none, and not really having a home. So I do think that Judon would have some value in this team. In the trade market, I think I would, if I were the Patriots, I'd wait to that trade deadline or approaching, and then see if someone gets hurt.
Of course.
See if a contender loses a key pass rusher. Look at Miami. I talked about this last week. Miami's entering camp with Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb both on PUP. They both had major injuries last year at the end of the year. I think they both tore their ACLs, or I think Phillips might have been an Achilles. Let's say they're not up to speed. You get to middle of October and these guys aren't rounding into form. That's a contending team that needs a pass rusher. Now, I know it's complicated. Miami probably not going to deal in the division, but if someone like San Francisco, we've talked about with Ayuk, you can throw him in as a sweetener if something were to happen to Nick Bosa, as an example.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Felger and Mazz here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.